is I'm going to show you a couple different things. As I was looking around thinking, what tip or what trick could I show people? The first thing that came to my mind was I was looking at, beautiful fabrics, and one of my favorite fabrics out there are stripes. How many of you love stripes out there? And I should say, how many of you love stripes on bindings of quilts? It's one of my favorite patterns to be able to put onto the binding of a quilt. Okay. And one of the reasons why I love it so much is because I like to oftentimes I like to have them go straight across. There's, a reason why I want that. If I'm looking for a more modern feel for a quilt, I'll have the stripes go straight across. But if I want something that has the diagonals on, going, I should say the stripes going diagonally, then I want to cut it on the bias in order to make that happen, because it's so cute to be able to have stripes going down at a diagonal on your binding. So I have a fat quarter here. This is a pretty shimmery gold here, and I've done this little video before, but for those who may not have seen it or would like a reminder, I'm going to show you how to get almost 5 yards of binding out of one fat quarter. Yep, you heard me right. Almost 5 yards of bias binding out of one fat quarter. Are you ready? All right, so let me bring my computer over here and show you how that's done. So the first thing you're going to do, obviously, is unfold this. So pull it out, and you have, if I were doing this for real, I would probably take the time to iron this piece out, but I'm not too worried about it right now for the demonstration. So let's see, I'm trying to get it all into the camera view. Let me pull this aside a little bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you have your fat quarter laying flat. What I'm going to do is take one top corner, doesn't matter which way you do, left or right, doesn't matter. I'm going to take a top corner and I'm going to fold it down towards the center. Now notice I'm not measuring, I'm just putting it down towards the center somewhere. I'm going to take the opposite corner and now bring it up towards the center, just like that, so that those two pieces are now touching, and I've created 2 parallel lines right here. I have my fold going this direction and my fold going the same direction, just a little bit apart. So I have created virtually a parallelogram here. So that's where I want to stop for just a minute and do a quick review. I have my fat quarter laying flat. I pull one top towards the center, just like that, and I take the bottom corner, which is opposite, pull it towards the center, just like that. I have 2 folds. Now what I want to do is take one fold, fold it over towards the top, towards the second fold, just like that. Okay, so once again, I've brought them into the center. I have one fold down here towards the bottom. All I'm going to do is bring it up towards the top fold. All right, I could cut it now, but I'm going to do it one more time just for ease. I'm going to just fold it one more time. Now, all I do is I'm going to put my hands on top and I'm going to rotate it so that I can cut going out this way and cut going out this way. When I make my first cut, I always do it towards the center and I cut out and I cut out this way. And the reason why I do that is because your longest pieces will be in the middle. All right, so just real quick, one more time. All you do is you take one corner, fold it towards the center, opposite corner, fold it towards the center. Take my folds, bring one on top of the other. I'm going to do it one more time. Look how easy that was, my friends. I've now created this and I'm going to pull it around this way, so now I can begin cutting. So I'll go ahead and take my ruler and rotary cutter, and I'm going to make a quick cut right down the center there, And obviously Kris needs a new blade. There we go. And I've cut that in half. I'm going to set one aside and just focus on one at a time. So if I want my binding to be 2.5 inches, I would measure 2.5 inches. If I wanted it 2.25 inches, which is what I prefer, I like to have my binding a little bit tighter. So I'm going to do 2.25 inches, and let's get a little closer here and do a cut. See, just like that. And I'll come over again, 2.25 inches, and cut. Now I have 2 strips, 2.25 inches, cut, and I continue down that piece until it's all been cut up. And I'll show you here what I mean when I say you've got longer pieces in the center, for those of you who might be a little confused on that. Okay, so I have all these. Now I could take my second piece, and I'm just going to rotate it around for ease of use, because I like cutting from left to right. It's totally up to you. And I would do the same thing here, 2.25, 2.25, 2.25, and 2.25. So I'm going to set that aside for now. I'll finish that up later. And what I'm left with is that I have a center piece that is this long. See how long that is? But my end piece is this long. So you can see the difference between those, right? But one of the reasons why I love to demonstrate this technique on striped fabric is because it gives you a nice visual of, yes, indeed, now the stripes are going diagonally. I definitely cut it correctly, okay? So now I have it on the bias. It has a little more stretch. One of the reasons why you want to do it on the bias, it depends. You know, a lot of times I will cut binding straight of grain, and other times I'll cut it on the bias. And one of the reasons why you want to cut on the bias is especially if you have scalloped, you know, a scalloped border, or curved, any kind of curves, you always want to do on the bias. If it's just straight, a straight quilt, I usually will do straight of grain, unless I want that particular print to go at a diagonal. If I want that particular print to go at a diagonal, then I definitely want to cut on the bias. Bias is also going to give you a little more strength than straight of grain. So if you were doing a quilt for a baby that maybe a toddler that was going to be dragged around a lot, that would be another reason why I might do it on the bias, because you've got more strength in a bias cut than on straight of grain. All right, so then you have all these pieces, and you're just going to fit them together like a puzzle. So let's see, here we go. So you have an angle that goes this way, and my angle, I'm just going to match them up together. Okay, and then I just sew straight across like that, and when I pull it out, you now have the continuous binding. So a lot of times binding will scare people. I should say bias binding will scare people, or whenever you're cutting on the bias, that makes some people a little nervous. I hope by sharing with you this demonstration today that you realize, oh my goodness, what was I so scared of, right? It is so much easier than a lot of us might initially think. So don't be afraid of cutting bias binding. It is so simple. And again, I did it from a fat quarter, and you can get almost 5 yards of binding. That's a lot of binding, okay? That's a lot of binding going around a project. So you're just going to join them together, and now you have a great looking bias binding strip. All right, so I hope that helped. I'm looking to see if there are any questions. Great way to cut. Nancy, you're so sweet. She said, my mouth is hanging open. Ah, so cool. Yes, I love mouths hanging open. That tells me I've done my job. Good, good, good. Let's see. Betty Joe asked, could you use this to cut the strips for masks? Yeah, you certainly could. Yep, absolutely. Oh, good. Lisa shared, oh my goodness, I've never been taught this. So awesome. Yay. Yep, 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 yep. Love that. Okay, will this stay posted for somewhere for reference? Yes. This will stay in our Facebook group here, so you can go back and refer to it. Or for those of you who are in the club, I have a specific video just on this technique. And in fact, I think my daughter Jessica teaches that. I'm almost positive the quick clip is my daughter Jessica teaching the almost 5 yards of bias binding from a fat quarter. So club members, that is in the portal, and that will give you easy, fast access to that video as well. All right. Sylvia shares that she loves multicolored striped fabric. Yeah, so fun. All right. Again, a fat quarter. Okay, I'm trying to, let's see. Brenda shares, I struggle with stripes because they can so easily go wonky. Oops. On bindings, that isn't an issue as much, but I never consider them because of my aversion to wonky stripes in my piecing. That is true. So in the binding, it's not too bad, Brenda. It's pretty easy, and there's really not much to match up. But look how cute this is when I fold it in half with the wrong sides together and I go to sew it on something else. It's going to end up being this wide. And take a look at how cute that is. Can you picture that on the binding of a quilt? Oh my goodness, so much fun. You could definitely, it doesn't have to be stripes, whether it's geometrics or flowers or any kind of pattern that you are wanting to have on a diagonal, then you want to do it on the bias. So, all right, let's see, what else do we have? Okay, so if you like this video, make sure and share it with 3 friends, because at the end of the week I'll be sharing, or I'll be drawing for winners for 3 people every day to win a gift card to the shop. Maggie says, like a candy cane. Exactly, it's like a candy cane. Oh, super cute for, have you ever done red striped binding? So the stripes are, if you were to do it straight of grain, your stripes are going to go across. And again, sometimes I like stripes to go across, but if I want them to go on the diagonal, then I definitely want to cut it on the bias. And again, almost 5 yards of it from a fat quarter. That ain't too shabby. Okay, so that's my first how-to, but I was having so much fun with how-tos today, I decided to do another one. How many of you have seen the Kimberbell pull flowers? Oh my goodness, this is so much fun. And this is going to be a really lengthy video, you guys, because this is hard. This is really hard to do. I know, you're rolling your eyes at me right now. I know you are, because you're like, yeah, whatever, Kris. Have you seen the pull flowers? They are so much fun. All right, so this is how they come. They're already pre-cut for you and pre-threaded. Pre-cut, pre-threaded, my friends. So when we talk about April showers bringing me flowers, let's think about how cute these flowers would be. So all you do is they come pre-cut, pre-threaded. You pull them out of the package. Let's see if I can get this on. Look how amazing. Oh, trying to get this at a good angle for you. Oh my goodness, my friends, these are the flowers that I cannot kill. There's no watering. Look how fun that is. And now I have a really easy, sweet flower. Isn't that fun? I love that. So we have the summer pull flowers and we have the fall pull flowers. So let me show you a few pictures for inspiration. Okay, here's a picture of the, let's see, the fall pull flowers. Okay, so they added this onto a pumpkin, so I'll show you how cute that looks, this pumpkin applique. This is one of the bench buddies from Kimberbell. Isn't that fun? So the applique is the pumpkin, and then these beautiful flowers just are so dimensional and they come right out. And here's a cute picture. Oh, let me see if I can make it bigger. All right, of a birthday cake. Isn't that fun? It's a unicorn cake. And I guess it doesn't have to be a birthday. It's a unicorn cake. Hello, how fun is that? And the pull flowers were put on the cake. So, so cute. We've seen where people have made the like unicorn headbands and they put the flowers there, or just making a headband with the flowers. Adding these flowers to a handbag, adding them to a quilt, adding them to pillows, you know, adding them to tote bags. There's so many possibilities. Any other, you know, have you seen any other ways that people have used these pull flowers? You guys, this is the easiest, most straightforward project to do. And again, you have them in all the different shapes and colors. Scallops, larger scallops, a little bit more pointed. They're all going to make different pull flowers. And I just think they're just the cutest thing ever. We had a quilt that we put together. Now you won't see it till September, but it was for Shop Hop. It was for the Idaho Shop Hop, which has been postponed till September. And it's the Utah, Idaho, Wyoming Shop Hop. And we put together a darling cactus quilt. And the cactus quilt, the cactus is pieced, and then the pull flowers go on top, so the flowers are blooming from the cactus. So fun. So we have, that was your how-to. We have these in stock, and your how-to was on the bias as well as how to do the pull flowers. Yes, Peg said she thinks her granddaughter would enjoy doing these. Absolutely. They're so fun. And like I said, they come pre-cut and pre-threaded. All you have to do is pull on them. So how fun is that?